Welcome back to Anything Outdoors with Steve. Today we're doing something a little crazy. We are going to set up in negative 10 degrees right now. It's going to drop down to maybe 15 or 20 below Fahrenheit. I'm going to do a makeshift survival shelter. I've got somebody that's crazy enough to come along with me. His name is Sean. You saw him on the Stevens Lake hike, labeled "It's never too late to start hiking." So he decided to join with me because he wanted to test his gear. So what I'm doing is I'm just setting up a makeshift survival shelter. This is just using a plastic sheet. And on the back side, I've got Mylar and a blanket just to kind of help insulate against thermal loss. So I'm using the blanket being a poncho liner. I'm covering myself up with a poncho liner, and instead of cutting a bunch of tree boughs, I'm gonna go ahead and use an air mattress. So I am cheating, so I'm not gonna get all sappy and stuff, and I'm not attacking a bunch of trees. Right now it is so cold that you can hear the trees popping and snapping in the background every so often. So as things get settled down, you might be able to hear that here and there, but that's what we're hearing, is trees popping and snapping from the cold as they're expanding and blowing apart. So I'm going to start stringing my stuff up, and he's already getting set up behind me. I'm going to set up a few more flashlights so we've got better light. Question is how high can I go? Is that just a one man?
It's actually, technically yes, but you could fit two people in here.
Oh. Don't be getting any ideas.
I don't know.
All about survival now.
Hopefully we don't have to eat each other. But you just ate 2 hours ago. Yeah, well.
Who is this? Oh, this is Bob. I like Bob. So what we're doing is a 0.7 mil 9x12 plastic sheet. This will be my shelter. 0.7 mil 9x12. I did bring 2 of them just in case it's not enough, and I think I will be using both. These things weigh about 4 ounces, 6 ounces. It's not much weight. So if you're backpacking and you want an easy shelter, this could be something that works. I don't know for sure, because I'm gonna find out. Being a 9x12, by the time it touches the ground, you're already losing a lot of material. So I want the front of the material just to barely touch the ground, so that way I've got enough to drag all the way back to the back side of the shelter here as kind of a lean-to style. And also, we've got isobutane. You know what happens to this when it gets below 32? Our thermometer is still getting settled down. We're at 0.5 right now. 0.5 degrees. So you already know this isn't going to work. So I'm going to put that in the snow. Let it cool down. Trying not to. where I'm acquiring my rocks. This is an this is a riverbed. It's just frozen. Go. 0%. That's funny. So there's my home. Cozy. And negative 9.7, and the thermometer's freezing up. I don't know how cold it'll go, but I think we'll find out is when it stops working. I got this little tiny pump to fill her up. Luckily, being this cold, the air is so dry that you're not going to get any moisture in there. And it shouldn't take long, but the battery is already low on this guy too. Everything this cold, anything battery operated, it doesn't want to work. I do have a secondary way to fill this up if this dies. Okay, next up, get my frozen gloves back on. So what I have is some boots for my feet, another pair of gloves, some nice thick loose fitting socks to go with these boots. And in case I get too sweaty, I brought a second hat, which is going to fall on the ground here. There it is. And this is my blanket for the night, just a poncho liner. And that, hopefully, is going to keep me warm. Yeah, that's what I've got too. The Yuko candle.
Yeah, aren't they sweet?
There, hand it over. Kitten mittens on. Hands are freezing up. How you doing over there?
Oh man.
All right.
My toes are killing me.
His toes are killing. So I'm gonna get some fire going here. I think that was Melissa saying, "Oh, you're back on." Yeah, my phone froze up. So if you're wondering what happened, my phone froze. Negative 10.4 degrees is what that says. We're doing a too early fire here. There we go. I don't know if I've got enough kindling to keep this thing going, but I'm going to try to shaving as I go here. Oh, I need that piece. So actually we only need 5 hours, 6 hours of heat. So this will last a good 2 to 3 minimum. And yeah, we're good. We're good. And only because we've got a late start on this. Yeah, this will burn a while.
This is nice. See, all of our technology,
Yeah,
useless in the cold, but fire,
fire still works.
good old-fashioned.
So you got your little buddy heater, fail.
useless.
Yeah. Okay, so this is something I learned a while ago.
Maybe if it was in a tent and it was
Maybe.
warm.
Yeah, because it's gonna warm itself up.
Yeah.
So these hot hand warmers, they also will fail because it's too cold. So the one time you need them the most, they're not gonna work for you because it's too cold. Does that make a whole lot of sense?
Yeah.
I know.
Everything stops working when it's cold.
Yeah,
Except fire.
except fire.
If you can get it done.
Yes. And I'm kind of curious if these will even work. I almost slipped the blade back in my pocket.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you always have to slow down. See if that warms up.
Do you have to do anything to activate it?
Move it around. Shake it. Yeah.
Take it like a Polaroid picture.
Mm-hmm. So the one time you want it to work the most, say your hands are freezing and you need heat right now.
Yeah.
And so we were on a hike.
They actually feel cold. You can use them as ice packs.
Yeah, they do feel colder than the surrounding air. So the one time we needed these the most, Jess and I were hiking with Dan. So it was all three of us hiking. She was wearing the wrong footwear, the wrong socks, and her feet were freezing. And I had no idea because she wasn't telling me anything. And so I crack open a couple of these, and because this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to knead them, shake them, knead them. Nothing. And so we're sitting there for 10 minutes trying to get these things to work. Nothing. And the only time they worked is when we got back to the truck after
warm.
the whole hike and it started to warm up. And then they activated and started to warm up. Now, whether or not they'll activate in your pocket because your pocket is warmer or in your glove, like maybe my hand will warm it up enough to where it starts working. But so I'll keep it in my glove. Right now it's keeping my hand cold because it's in the ice pack.
Yeah. Good to know these things because
Yeah.
if you packed all this
Oh, yeah.
stuff not knowing.
So you're carrying, and these are heavy too. It's iron oxide. So the idea is oxygen is supposed to activate it. So it's sealed in its pack. It doesn't get oxygen. Once you open it up, oxygen gets to it and it starts creating heat through the iron oxide. Now, it's heavy. You're packing a lot of weight. If you've got 4 or 5 of these with you and you're expecting, oh yeah, I'm going to be warm all night, I'll just pack them all around me. What if they don't work? Like, I mean, we're a couple minutes in, still nothing.
Yeah, I wonder if the liquid, the liquid ones with the little metal tab.
Yeah, they only work for 30 minutes.
Oh.
Yep.
So maybe if you used one of those to jump start one of these.
Well, I mean, here I have it in my hand still, and it's still ice cold.
Yeah.
Ice cold.
I wonder if you put it in the fire if it would warm up.
There you go. I'm breaking off ice chunks from my mustache. It's crazy. It really isn't. It's not going to be a good video, but it gives an idea. And that's what this is about. It's giving an idea of what to expect. So if this warms up to 20 degrees, I'll be pretty excited. And we're close. So another 7 degrees and I'm there. If it warms up to 30 degrees, I'll be doing pretty good. And I've got a secondary blanket. So a poncho liner, I'm okay at 40 degrees. Now, wearing a coat, I should be good at 30 degrees. So we'll see what happens over the night. I might freeze myself out and grab my second blanket. We'll see.
I think it's going to be a rough road no matter.
Well, and so here's the other factor.
We're
I'm not
about,
even in it yet.
just for time reference, 2:15 a.m. I haven't even gone in my shelter yet.
It kind of feels pointless because, but maybe not. But for me, this fire, we're doing this thing. It's
a good thing.
Cold, like 5 feet over there. It's really cold, but the fire
Yeah.
is not so cold.
Yeah, -10 still.
Yeah.
It hasn't gotten colder than -10 though. That's not so bad.
It's almost Hawaiian shirt weather.
Yes. It's interesting. I can still hear the trees out there popping away.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know it's cold.
Yeah.
Trees are.
Well, that and your frost on your coat. When you have frost from just you breathing.
Oh, that's probably what it is, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering what that was. Like, it's just the
front.
moisture.
Mm. Well, I might eat a little snack and throw another log on the fire. Pretty soon this is going to start tipping over because not yet. You've still got a while, but it actually did burn down to the bottom too fast. So we're 2 hours in of our 3-hour planned. So it's still going to burn 3 hours. It's just not 4. But at this point, you just throw 4 or 5 chunks on at a time, and that's it. Wow. Just snapping and popping all over the place.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Mm-hmm. That should be melted by now. Everything's stuck to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I do have a cup. You notice what I use as a chair though, right? You notice what I use as a chair, right?
Your cup?
No.
Oh, the wood?
Wood, yeah.
Yeah.
Any stump will do.
Yeah.
Find a log, find a stump, anything. That's good.
You want some more?
No, it's fine. Let's warm up the belly.
Oh,
What do I look like?
it's good.
Man,
It's like drinking.
I don't look so bad.
You got the beard going.
It's not.
Is it helping?
It's not frozen anymore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it helps.
'Cause you're next to the
My
fire.
face has not been cold, but everything freezes to the mustache, and I didn't notice until I moved. Okay, our 3:30 update. Got this little candle holder here. It's putting out a little bit of heat. Most of my heat is generated from the fire out there. We have what does that say? Oh yeah, 31.6 degrees in here. And that's roughly about face level. I've just got it sitting on my water bottle. This is what the shelter kind of looks like here. Just a lean-to style. Got a Mylar blanket, and that reflects a little bit of the heat back from the fire. And poncho liner. All right, going to sleep. Okay, I would say this is a survivable shelter in a pinch. Let's see, what do we have? I think it's up to 22 degrees, but it's -6 outside, so we're still about 30 degrees above. This little poncho liner makes a big difference, but it's not quite enough to be it's not quite enough to be highly comfortable, but it is enough to survive with. So this is essentially just another poncho liner for insulation, which really you don't gain any from. So the Mylar is really all you need right there. So it was just an idea I had where, you know, try to drop the thermal loss right there, but it doesn't make a difference. So the Mylar sheet just attached to the back would be plenty. And then drop your weight even further and use that poncho liner on top. So I would have been better off with that one just covering me. But I can still feel the heat from the fire out there. It's still smoldering away, but putting out a little bit of heat, so it's still got some temperature gain from that. And really that fire needs to be much closer. And of course, if it is, you've got the chance of it melting through your plastic. But so if you have a small fire, keep it closer. Big fire, keep it farther away. But then you're always stoking it. So anyway, keep all that in mind if you decide to bring a plastic sheet as a makeshift survival shelter while you're hiking. It does work. And this little air pad is my equivalent of what a foot of pine boughs would be without getting covered in sap. So it's enough to keep me off the ground. All right, thanks for joining.